Welcome, Scorpio, to your in-depth weekly astrology overview and zodiac forecast for week commencing the 29th of June for the Ascendant, the Sun, or the Moon. Going to share the big themes of the week ahead. First of all, on screen is your event chart. As we enter the week, Scorpio, I'll unpack that. I'll then go through each of the influences in detail. By the end of the video, you'll have a clear picture of what's upcoming in terms of energy, work, relationships, or finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive, but please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. Your traditional ruler is Mars, and late last week, Mars moved into the quick-witted sign of Gemini, where it's going to be for the next 6 weeks. Now, over the last 6 weeks, Mars has given you an option to be firmer on your boundaries, but perhaps also a bit more proactive around your love life. What will that eighth house entry mean? It's also in an electric connection to the very brilliant vibe of Uranus. But we also have on Monday, Mercury go retrograde and a full moon. How will that play out for you? Then on Tuesday, Jupiter moves to the most brilliant part of your chart for success for the first time since 2015. Will it help you to seize that golden prize? Let's see. So on the screen is your event chart, Scorpio. So there's your traditional ruler Mars just moved into Gemini. So Gemini energy is an air sign, so it's about communication. It can be very restless, but it also can be about needing to move around quite a bit. But the eighth house can be about desire, and Mars can be about gratification, particularly for its rulership of your sign. So that combination with Uranus in a more practical way could see you thinking almost straight away this week about how you can use resources in a different way. But because the eighth house can also be about intimacy, you could find yourself with a sudden, very powerful connection to someone that you can almost not take your eyes off. But the reversal of Mercury on Monday through to the 23rd of July suggests around travel plans, contracts, higher education applications if you're applying to a course or trying to get a place, say in September. You must make sure that all the details are done in a very precise way. The moon moves into Capricorn later on Monday, goes face to face with the sun. So I think you are going to be doing a lot of thinking or talking, perhaps about the way you want to make your life more expansive and more interesting, which is coming from the sun, but balancing the emotional part of that with the big idea could be the challenge. But Jupiter moves into your sector of success on Tuesday, and it links back to Mars. So if you're very canny with resources, you're very businesslike, but you're also able to see different opportunities or do things in fresh and inventive ways, that could pitch you and your persona into a much more visible situation. So I can't guarantee that you're going to, over the next week anyway, get a new job, meet someone hugely successful that can help you along the ladder of success. But I think you're certainly priming the conditions for the next year. And because Venus, the planet of charm, but also money, is in a very strong link with Saturn in a practical part of your chart, if you're clear in what you're wanting to say and your idea stacks up, but also your personality power is really to the fore, you can be very convincing in a manner that gains their respect, but also their belief that you will deliver on what you're saying. What's not to like at the start of this week? Well, it is Neptune's square to the sun. That can create a bit of uncertainty. Neptune in the sixth house could also see you, along with Saturn, maybe a bit weary. Just at the moment when you want to do something more dramatic, it might feel that the energy isn't completely there. But also Mars is challenging the nodal axis. The 5th and 11th houses, they're going to switch at the end of July. So they come into the end of their journey. And Mars and Uranus in the 8th house can be very provocative. Now, that's part of your nature. I think you sometimes like to do things that shock a little bit because you're looking for a reaction. And through that reaction, you get some kind of nefarious thrill. So it may be around your love life. If you're drawn to someone, you may just directly ask them out, even if you're ordinarily quite cautious, because this ninth house energy is really encouraging you to be much more outgoing, more expansive, more adventurous around your life. So I'm going to summarize those 4 areas of vitality: work, relationships, and finances next, Scorpio. Just before I do, I've slashed the price of my personal horoscope reports, which are based on natal astrology. And for many years, if you brought them, it was buy 2, get 30% off. It's now buy 1 and get 3, because I realise people are feeling the cost of living increases. And I want to make these as accessible as possible. So the one you pay for is your life roadmap report, which is really important to help us to understand the patterns that play out in our lives. 3, your 12 months transit forecast, but also your Draconic Soul karmic analysis, which helps us to look at life and astrology and ourselves in a different but potentially profound way. Please see the link below for more. If you've yet to watch your July monthly forecast, Scorpio, or your Jupiter into Leo 13-month forecast, if you click on the eye on the screen, it will take you to those videos. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, it would be a pleasure. Please see my testimonials below. And if you've yet to sign up for your free daily written horoscope, find your device each morning, please do sign up for that and get that early date celestial pit stop. So energy with Saturn and Neptune both going into retrogrades in July, both in conflict with the sun, which is pushing you in a way to be more active. I think you need to prioritize how you use your energy. It may be that there's a relationship or a person that you're finding quite evocative, and that may be where you want to put your energy. But certainly in physical vitality, don't spread yourself too thinly. And the other thing to say about this week is don't promise to do something that you later regret because you feel that maybe you're being a little bit too optimistic about what you could do for someone else. Conserving is important. As far as your financial situation is concerned, with having Mars and Uranus in that 8th house, that can be about long-term finances, but Uranus and Mars together can definitely be about risk. And then the nodes in the 5th house, which can be about speculation. But if you are going to go for it quickly because you have a real need, you want to do something that makes you feel alive, check the details with Mercury in that retrograde. Really important. If your financial situation is a bit more solid, you work for someone, then Venus in that great trine with Saturn, very reassuring. As far as your professional hopes are concerned, Jupiter moving into the 10th house, where it would be for 13 months, is as good a portent as you could get, because this year it's supported by your traditional ruler Mars and also by your modern ruler Pluto, in the sense that it can give you enormous willpower to get what you want as far as your career over the next year. So that's looking good. Relationships, well, Chiron, of course, has moved into that 7th house. If you have got some inhibition about how attractive you are or whether you'll ever meet that special person, I guess this week says, in a lot of ways, take the lead. You can be quite reticent. Yes, you can be very sharp in what you say about other people, but find it more difficult to take that first step forward yourself. But if ever there was a week to show a bit of devilment, it's certainly this one, with Mars in that conjunction with Uranus. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Have a great week. All the best. And goodbye for now.